Hillary Caldwell. I'm going to talk about the Community Change Studies program at the City College of New York, which provides organizing education to working class students and participants from the city's various justice movements. The program was initiated by our moderator, John Krinsky, about 10 years ago, a little more than 10 years ago, and we've developed the program together to address three central and related concerns. First, we believe that our university has a responsibility to contribute to movements for emancipatory change. Before we started our program 10 years ago, community organizing, community-based participatory research methods, and the like were not offered in any sustained or programmatic way at our school, which is a large public university in the middle of Harlem. Second, and relatedly, our university is full of students from across working class backgrounds who know that the world is not as it should be and who want to do something about it, but generally speaking are unfamiliar with organizing efforts happening all around them. Some have participated in movement moments like a George Floyd protest or a climate march, or a particularly inspiring and energetic electoral campaign like the recent one that elected Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani mayor of New York City. But for the most part, our students are not involved in long-term relational organizing that has set the stage for these moments and that is preparing for those to come. Third, our movements need work. They need more people, stronger and more distributed leadership, sharper analysis, better strategy, greater integration across issues and identities, and more resources. Historically, however, community-based organizations and movement leaders in New York have not seen universities as a resource for their work. Too often, universities have had extractive relationships with communities around them and that they purport to serve. They buy up real estate and otherwise gentrify the neighborhoods with their mere presence. They ask community groups to provide internship opportunities to students who are insufficiently prepared and supported, which drains organizational capacity. Professors and students, the traditional intellectuals, go into communities, study their problems, then go back to their universities to talk and write about what should be done. Doing epistemic violence to communities who have a particular expertise that comes from lived experience, and leaving organic intellectuals undeveloped. So the Community Change Studies program at City College is a very modest experiment in transformation and repair with regards to these concerns. It aims to study and teach movement theory, movement history, theory, and practice in ways that are connected and accountable to the work and expertise on the ground, not from a sporadically engaged ivory tower. To cultivate organic intellectuals from our own student body and from and with movements, and to work with community partners over the long term to collaboratively build and transform movement work to better meet the moment. Each component of the program has been developed and redeveloped through extensive consultation with movement leaders to address the specific and evolving needs and interests of our students and the movement work. The program includes a minor in community change studies, founded in 2015 as part of a national grassroots initiative with the Community Learning Partnership to bring organizing curricula into undergraduate education, particularly in communities being organized, and to cultivate community leaders and organizers directly from those communities. It includes courses in community organizing, community-based research, New York grassroots movements, which is really a historical course, and an internship and leadership development seminar, as well as a paid 150-hour internship with one of our community partner orgs. A community organizing fellowship, formerly called a Grassroots Leaders Fellowship, initiated in 2020 to provide grassroots leaders and early career organizers with basic organizing education, something that many of our community partners have identified as a need, simply by bringing a group of them into our program each year. They participate in the organizing course and the internship and leadership development seminar and complete a capstone project that seeks to strengthen their home organization's base building work. 1 to 2 movement courses per semester, first offered in 2022. These are for City College students and members of justice movements in New York City to address gaps in collective movement knowledge and skills with a lower commitment than the fellowships. Course topics and instructors are identified by and with movement partners. Examples have included history of the tenant movement and theories of change, history and strategies of the New York real estate lobby, narrative messaging and power in the housing movement, and just housing futures in New York City, and when social movements win, Mayor Mamdani, the people and politics of co-governance, currently being offered. An Advanced Housing Justice Fellowship is the fourth component. It's new this year. It was initiated by our movement partners at the statewide Housing Justice for All Coalition to strengthen leadership development and campaign strategy skills across New York's housing movement. It is for a group of 12 housing movement leaders and includes an advanced campaign strategy course, mentorship from a more advanced movement peer, and fieldwork assignments developed to help fellows apply what they're learning in real time. All of our courses are taught by lead organizers and experts in the field, John and me. The programs are free for all City College, non-City College participants and movement in fellowships and movement courses, and we cover tuition costs for anyone who wants to take the courses for credit. The pedagogical work of transformation and repair. The program I've just outlined might sound sort of straightforward. Just teach organizing, send students to groups that need help to do internships, invite movement people into class. But it is not. It requires deep relational work with everyone involved at every turn. It involves recruiting and cultivating a relationship with each one of our students. Our students have rich lived experience, consciousness of the issues, love and concern for their communities and for others, and they are incredibly hardworking, but they are overworked, undersupported. Most live at home with household responsibilities, work at least a part-time job, and commute to school for a full-time course load. Their lives are hard, they're tired, and they're poor. Most are first in their families to go to college. There's a lot of pressure on them to pursue careers in finance, law, or medicine. When they find us, they are often thrilled to learn they can work with their communities, build power to address the root causes of problems that have shaped their lives. But getting and keeping their attention, building their confidence, supporting their personal and professional development as community leaders and organizers is a lot of work. Here are some of the things that we do. First, we introduce them to community organizing and prepare them to enter the field, teaching them basic concepts and terminology, prevailing theories and practices, where there are important differences and tensions between different approaches, with case studies that are relatable for our students. This happens in the organizing and research courses. We provide historical context and understanding of what grassroots movements have accomplished in New York City, how they've set the stage for today's movements. That's John's course. We provide orientation to today's organizational landscape, why we have organizations, how they're structured, how they operate, different roles. That's the Internship and Leadership Development Seminar that I teach. Students need a basic understanding of all of these before they can responsibly and meaningfully engage in the work themselves, and before they can begin to critique and intervene in the work. Then we provide them with structured and supportive opportunities to engage directly and reflect on their own observations and experiences. Through participant observation with our partner groups, in-class discussions, through semester-long community-based research projects, and through their 150-hour internship, where they are fully immersed in the work of one of our partner orgs. During their internships, they keep a journal. They meet one-on-one with their supervisor and me on at least a weekly basis. And we do individual development planning with each student to help them identify and pursue their own personal and professional development goals within and beyond the organizing field. Many of our students have told us that we are the only professors who have ever taken the time to get to know them and to advise them. This might be the most transformative work that we do. It's so rewarding. Our students are frequently hired by their internship organizations, some before they graduate. We have alumni supervising current students in their internships now and working alongside John and me in movement work. Many have transitioned into member leader roles with their organization as they have gone on to pursue careers as teachers, engineers, doctors, architects, lawyers, and journalists. And we're thrilled that they're doing those things. They don't all need to be organizers. For the fellows in our program, these are the non-traditional students, the support that we provide looks a little different. They participate in the same classes as our students, but with a focus on deepening their understanding of their organizing and their leadership development. Instead of doing internships, they're analyzing and reflecting on their own movement work. This happens through class discussion and activities, through bi-weekly fellows check-in calls, and through one-on-one meetings with the instructors and coaches. Organizing fellows are mentored by me, and they do a capstone project. The advanced fellows have coaches from the movement with which they've been matched, and they're given different opportunities to apply their skills and lessons learned. Almost all of our former fellows remain active in movement work and have leveled up their leadership. Finally, our program involves deep reparative work with our partners in the movement. the conditions and cast of which are always changing. To identify and recruit instructors, to provide instructors with pedagogical and logistical support to make it possible for them to teach while working full-time in the field. To identify and provide fieldwork opportunities for organizing students, to identify what movement courses are needed and to develop course curricula, to cultivate and facilitate community-based research projects, to identify and secure internship opportunities, to support students during their internships, recruit fellows and coaches for fellows, and so on and so on and so on. This was very hard in the beginning. We had to build trust and relationships with community partners over time by demonstrating that we do a good job of preparing and supporting our students, by raising money to pay them for their participation and supervision of our students, and by increasingly opening and shaping our program according to their needs and direction. Now we have groups come to us, ask to partner with them on projects, send them interns and graduates when they're hiring, and this is what we think our public universities should be doing. As proud as I am of the work that we're doing, I often say to John that it's not enough. We're spending so much time with such a small number of people. We have to do more. We have to do it better. I recently reread veteran organizer and educator Adrienne Marie Brown's book, Emergent Strategy, in which she says, "The crisis is everywhere, massive, 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 and we are small. But emergence notices the way small actions and connections create complex systems, patterns that become ecosystems in societies. Emergence is our inheritance as part of this universe. It is how we change. Emergent strategy is how we intentionally change in ways that grow our capacity to embody the just and liberated world we long for." She goes on to say that many of us have been socialized to understand that constant growth, violent competition, and critical mass are the ways to create change. But emergence shows us that adaptation and evolution depend more upon the critical, deep, and authentic connections. A thread that can be tugged for support and resilience, basically what Mara's saying. The work we're doing is emergent and strategic. It sees and responds directly to the potential in our students and fellows to be transformative agents of and transformed by movement work. Also, it is an effort to transform ourselves as we try to transform the world around us. As Kelly Hayes and Marianne Makaba say in their book, Let This Radicalize You and Not Lead You to Despair, which I really recommend if you don't know it, we can also invite people to imagine what's possible by modeling and rehearsing the world as it should be in real time, in the spaces, groups, and relationships that we build. Also, like Hillary was saying. And we don't have to do it perfectly. Our movements are not driven by getting the words just right. They are driven by the goal of enacting change through collective struggle as we endeavor to both understand ideas and turn them into action. Fumbling is inevitable, but as Ruth Wilson Gilmore tells us, practice makes difference. So we have to be bold and keep at it.